Hello, let's take a look at what's inside My Classroom Connection from a parent standpoint. First of all, you'll notice, no doubt, that we've updated or actually upgraded our security system. This was necessary to stay within the parameters of industry standard security for the data that we manage. Okay, let's take a look inside here. Now I've got I wear several hats, as do many people, but we're going to focus just on the hat I wear as Zeke's dad. I have one child, Zeke, at St. John the Baptist Catholic School, and I can see a lot of what I need to see here in terms of how he's doing in school. I can take a look at his report cards. Now this is from last year. Okay, he's a good student, but I don't think we need to spend a lot of time dwelling on his report cards, so let's just close that down. And as current report cards become available, I'll be able to take a look at that. And there are some other things here that we can look at. For instance, the homework. He's in 4th grade. Let's take a quick look at what's going on there. He's upstairs working on it right now, and I hope he's getting it done. What else do we have here? We've got some online payment functionality. Then there are some others here that are related to my other roles at the school. Now, in the standpoint of changing my picture, I can have a picture of myself here or not. It's up to me. And if I would like to upload a new image, I can do it by selecting this link. I also can put a message out there. Oh, that's primarily for teachers and staff. If I want to change my screen name, do that here. As we get more and more connected, we may want to be doing some communication, a la Facebook kinds of things, connectivity, but we may not necessarily want to put our name out there for the world to see. So, we've got a screen name component. That's especially important for kids, although we are very limited in the kinds of socialization that are available to children for obvious reasons. We can reset our password from here. We can edit our email from here. Remember that there's, it's okay to not have an email address, but it's not okay to share email addresses with others. And I know that's been a little bit cumbersome for some folks to process this year, but again, it's a security-based thing, and it has to be the way it is. And we certainly appreciate your patience. And finally, you can reset your security questions. Boy, we strongly encourage people when they start thinking about what security questions and answers are to make sure that they pick things that are not going to change, that aren't subject to different formatting, that are simply going to be easy to remember forever. I know where I was born, I know my mother's middle name, and I know my favorite baseball team. And so those things aren't going to change. So they're good security questions because I made them myself, and they aren't going to be something that I'm going to forget in 6 months. All right, let's look at what I can do as Zeke's dad. All right, first thing I can do is look at his classes. I got real quick access to his classes right here. I won't bore you with all the details, but you can see the things you can do for each class, as well as look at his virtual classroom. 4th grade, Mrs. Parker. Let's take a look at what's going on in Mrs. Parker's class. I can contact Mrs. Parker very quickly via email right here, or via this phone number. I can see her other classes, some links, some documentation she's put out there. I can have a quick look at her schedule, her calendar, another place to access the homework. This is on a class basis rather than a school basis like the other one we looked at. But either one should show me the information that I need to see. I can look at Zeke's attendance record here. I can see if he's been absent or tardy, or when he was marked absent or tardy, and it'll give us some information about what class he missed, why, and some other things. I can also see when he's logged on. I can see when he's logged on to the system. That can be helpful to know. And then of course we have an attendance by class feature here, so you can see if he's missing any particular class and if that is as it should be. I can look at the student progress. If there are progress reports available, it's a little early in the year, so there's nothing available right now, but that's where I'd be able to see not end of quarter report cards per se, but progress along the way as we go through the school year. When teachers post a progress report, they can notify you via email automatically, and you'll know that there's something there to look at. Let's look at data and communication. Obviously, if we're going to be connecting with the school, this is paramount. Some of the most important kinds of data, of course, are our family medical and emergency data. we would really like people to take it and make it a high priority to get this up to date. If you haven't already done so this year, as soon as possible. Lots of other functionality here as well, but medical and emergency data as well as demographics are probably the most important. Okay, clinic information, health insurance, medical conditions, things like that. Please get those up to date for your children, especially, and for everyone else in the family as well. Let's go back to the home page and let's look at our Quick Notes. Quick Notes is a nice feature that any staff member can send any parent or group of parents a real quick note. Now, you do need to access the note itself from the website. The content of the note will not be sent via text or email, simply notification. You'll have to log on to view the note, and the reason for that is because some of the notes run longer than is allowed by your standard text messaging service, and so we simply send you a note that you've received a quick note, and you can log in at your convenience and take a look at it. Note that quick notes are not used. They're not used for emergency kinds of notifications. There's a level of urgency and a level of not urgent, but there'll never be any emergency information sent via quick notes. Okay. The other thing that's pretty cool is you can get a complete rundown of all fee accounts that any member of your family is in. Okay. If you look at our family view, you can see that our family members have an activity fees account, a homework club account, a Kids of the Kingdom account, and a lunch program account. And this is just a kind of a summary of how the family is doing in these accounts. But if we want to look at an individual family member, we simply click on their name, and now we can say, okay, what account are we interested in? Well, let's check to see the Kids of the Kingdom. And of course, please disregard that red $266 amount. I'm sure that's wrong. I'll have to talk to Angela about that. But nonetheless, we can see our deposits only if we would like here. We can see the debits that we've been charged, if there have been any adjustments made, and of course, an overall summary of the account. Permission slips have been a very important addition to this functionality. We can have a look at a blank permission slip for this particular school. We can look at how the permission slips that have been supplied to us and how we've done in terms of who approved them electronically, if anybody, and when. And it's a nice summary to look back and say, oh yeah, we're good, we've got all this in. However, we don't need to open that up just to see how the current permission slips are doing, because they'll be listed right here, and if they're bold, that means they've already been approved electronically. And your child's participation in this group has been approved right there on the bottom. If they haven't been approved, then all we have to do, again, assuming we have the necessary information on file with the school, we can go ahead and submit approval right there, and that's really all it takes to sign off on your permission slips. The nice thing about that is you don't have to continually fill out the same medical data for every time your son or daughter or any of your children go on field trips. It's in the database. It automatically populates. All you have to do is click, or if you wish, print it off, sign it, and send it in. The other thing I want to talk about here real quickly, and then we'll call it an evening, is some of the media capabilities here. Classroom Connection, or My Classroom Connection, has several ways you can store media and access media stored in other places. Probably the most frequently used component here are the media links, because nothing now has to be uploaded to this server. If you've got a Facebook account, if you've got a Google Plus account, or a Picasa, Kodak Gallery, whatever, all you have to do is link back to that right here. Simply give the link a title, summer soccer, a brief description of what the link is, and then link it back to your Google Plus or your Facebook or your Picasa account right here. Decide who you want to see it and submit it. Quick note that students also have the ability to publish media, but that media is always available to view by the family of that student and by all staff members. So if students want to upload media, they can, but it's certainly not something that is outside of the jurisdiction of the school staff and administration. You can also upload photos and then assign those photos to particular galleries. All of the photos that you upload will show up, and you can assign them to any gallery you wish of yours. So, functioning a little slowly here this evening. Got a few pictures in there. I think that's good. Okay. And the last thing I want to talk about then from a parent login is your video files. Video files need to be uploaded to YouTube and then connected from there. But again, if you have a store of video files or simply a video file that you want to make available to the school community, you can certainly do so. You simply have to link back to that and from YouTube, and it will show up for us here. Now, the nice thing about this kind of networking is folks can view and comment on what they're seeing, and again, it can also be flagged if something is offensive or inappropriate. I want to thank you for listening this evening. Please get that family data up to date, and please let us know if you would like us to help you with anything or add any functionality for you. Thank you very much.